out there, and welcome to another exciting edition of your favorite program, The Diaspora. And I remain your regular host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Evacuation flights for Nigerians stranded abroad have resumed earnestly in line with the new protocols as stipulated by the Presidential Task Force, PTF, on the COVID-19 pandemic.
We got a lot of requests for this on the African continent, but the key thing is the missions that will arrange it. And there's another thing. We've been saying you'll be evacuated, but some didn't bother to register. Some have returned from Ghana, from Togo, from Benin. So there will be more, but just go to the mission. If you can't get them by email, just walk up to the mission. Go there. Ghana just brought back about 39 Nigerians. So, and I think for the West African countries, there can be a whistle stop, between the various West African countries. So yes, everybody should be home, but please go to the mission, register. If they don't get the numbers, then it will be difficult to get a flight. When you arrive in Nigeria, you go and isolate at your place of choice. And you can come to only Lagos and Abuja for now, because those are where you're going to go to NCDC designated centers for your tests. So when you arrive in Nigeria, you go home or to wherever you feel comfortable with and self-isolate. And here's the thing, you must self-isolate. In fact, if anybody sees anybody that has just returned from a trip and is walking around, you need to blow the whistle. So when you get to the country, unlike before, when they take you to a hotel, now there's no hotel. Go to a place and self-isolate for 14 days. Within the 14 days, you're expected to go to an NCDC facility and get tested again. So after the 14th day, you come with your result, and then you'll be allowed to leave and collect your passport from immigration. And please, the thing is that we have to be strict with these rules. We have to take them seriously. If you've been away for 3-4 months, spending 14 days in self-isolation in your place of choice should not be too much to do. Those are the rules as set up by the PTF. I would believe that with those rules, bringing about 1,000 per week, like we're expecting from Dubai, UK, from America. So the plans are ongoing, but the key thing is let's obey the rules. Test yourselves before coming. If you're positive, doesn't mean you won't come in. I'm sure you stay back, then another week or 2 weeks, you would have been negative, then you'll be brought home.
Not so fast.
Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down. Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging,
Listen, Alinko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
If Nigeria does not move, the sub-region and indeed the continent will not move. Now, this is the standpoint of Mr. Edward Cullen, Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator, UN Systems Nigeria, as he received the Chairman CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, on a strategy courtesy visit on post-COVID-19 awareness programs, telemedicine, and so much more. Enjoy.
So I visited one to make a formal introduction, and then two, the diaspora definitely needs a partnership with the UN, and we're hoping that we will discuss with you as to how you can help us with basically diaspora reintegration programs. But I think, yesterday on the webinar on Day of Family Remittances, we had a very brilliant presentation by the UN rep, on UN supporting particularly digital remittances, so that she promised that UN will help in that regard in terms of making remittance more digital paying less, making it more digital, and so that the poor one in the rural area, can get. So we had a beautiful event yesterday. So basically, we feel we should approach you about a few things we have on the table. One is talking about capacity. So you have quite a lot of staff here. We also know that we have a lot of Nigerians in the UN system. There are Nigerians in the diaspora. So we hope we can, through you, link up with them. We can even have a skills development program, with them and with you, in terms of particularly mentorship. So we have quite a number of young people in the diaspora that we're encouraging to have a connection with their home country. And we believe that skills, mentorship, in fact, we have young students who say, we want to do something back home. So we can have a way of partnering with you to kind of develop a skills mentorship program with the Nigerians in the diaspora. And then, like I said, particularly Nigerians in the UN. I don't know how many we have, but I know we have quite a lot that are in the diaspora.
You have taken all the senior positions. Don't even start me to start counting them.
But they're in the diaspora, so we need to. And then we also will be, if we get to know more of them, we also can have them, get involved in things we're doing back home, because it's one of our things I would say are our success stories. Nigerians are all over the world doing great things everywhere in the world. I want to thank you for what you've done in terms of COVID-19, and I know there's a humanitarian basket fund that you have. I think subsequently the diaspora can play a role in that regard.
Good news is that we have the sustainability plan that has been finalized by our VP's office. So our hope is that we will be linking up our offer to that sustainability plan in the short term. But what the Secretary General has asked me to start working with the government is how we can work with the government of Nigeria to work on what we call a prosperity framework for Nigeria post-COVID. But that will require something like a serious national dialogue.
Yes.
A serious national dialogue. And I'm made to understand that the Ministry of Budget and Planning is also working on 5 or 10 year budget plan and 50-year horizon. But our energy will be going more into trying to see what the citizen sees as a framework for prosperity. I mean, touching on those difficult questions like, is the oil ever going to be an indicator for prosperity in Nigeria? Those sensitive questions, which nobody wants to touch. Maybe I think that is one of the biggest shifts that have to change in the whole macroeconomic thinking of this country before we can really start talking about prosperity. Because a long time we have centralized oil, as the major ingredient of growth and development opportunities, etc. But rather using it just as an investment capital, not for recurrent expenditure. Recurrent expenditures has to be paid from revenues they're generating, not this oil. So maybe there are certain difficult things. The other day I was looking at even at the whole governance architecture and structure. Is this the framework for prosperity moving forward? And there might be changes there. Those difficult national dialogue issues, which people don't want to talk about. But then that can be put on the table, maybe crystallized, and look at it as a prosperity framework.
I think the partnership between NIDCOM and the UN Systems Nigeria is forward-looking. Now, it is documented by credible sources such as the World Bank, IMF, PricewaterhouseCoopers, etc., that the Nigerian diaspora remits about $25 billion annually, which is about 80% of the Nigerian budget, placing Nigeria amongst the biggest in remittances. As the world marks the International Day on Remittance, there has been a call to action to ensure a free flow of remittances despite the challenges posed by the COVID-19 global pandemic. Now let's join Honorable Abdurrahman Tarab as he sheds more light on the impact of remittances on the Nigerian economy, as well as his thoughts on post-COVID-19 remittances.
So remittances are funds and valuables that are sent back home by people living in the diaspora. For us here in Nigeria, we have Nigerians in the diaspora who send back a lot of money and a lot of valuables, which has helped to support the economy. As you may have known, that for the last 3 years, as a matter of fact, in the last year, Nigerians sent about $25 billion to support the Nigerian economy. And that is about 3 times or 4 times the amount of foreign direct investment, and about 7 times, I think, the amount required for foreign debts to support our economy. So it's a very, very valuable aspect of our nation's economy. And across the world, in Africa this year or last year, it was about $84 billion.
Wonderful. Okay. Yes, with the impact of COVID-19, what are your thoughts?
Yes, actually, the entire, starting from the World Bank and then, of course, the IMF have projected that there's going to be a loss of about 20% of remittances across the globe this year. Nigeria is going to be affected because Nigeria is one of the most leading remittances country in Africa. And of course, because most of those who are living outside the country are providing services in various sectors across the world, the fact that the economy of most countries have been hit hard, it also means that Nigerians who are living in these countries will have to be affected. And then the other thing, of course, means of transmission and other logistical issues are also going to be affected. And that means at the end of the day, we are likely also to experience that same shortfall in this part of the world. I think it's about the country itself. The current drive of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission is to ensure that remittances is not just only about savings and providing incentives to families, but it's also about national development. And I think that very vision to ensure that it impacts on a greater infrastructural aspect of the country, as well as the individual human development index of citizens of the country, taking it from both of these perspectives is very, very important. So now that we are about facing shortfall, it also means that we have to start to think beyond our initial thought of just expecting what comes in. We need to see how we can drive it. We need to see how we can incentivize it. We need to see how we can encourage those who are in the diaspora to continue to support that very sector.
Thank you, Honorable, for sharing with us. It is so pathetic and sad to hear that even as we clamored on loving and caring for one another, putting aside skin color in a cause to end racism, lives are still being lost to the same reason. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission calls for a thorough investigation into the tragic death of Ms. Toyin Salau, a Nigerian American who was allegedly murdered in the United States of America. Now let's join Mr. Abdurrahman Balogun, the head media and public relations unit of the commission, as he speaks to the issue.
Yeah, very sad indeed. Toyin Salau is a Nigerian American. A 19-year-old who was at the forefront of championing against police brutality in America. She was part of that struggle, and sometimes in June 6, we learned that she was declared missing. And then before that, she tweeted that a man assaulted her that same morning. And then by June 15, she was found dead somewhere in Tallahassee in Florida. And when we got this information, as a responsible commission, we issued a statement. We condemned that act, and we demanded for a thorough investigation of what led to being missing and eventual death. And I'm happy to inform you that following that request by the Nigerian government, 2 persons have been arrested. One of those that have been arrested is a 49-year-old Aaron Glee Jr. and another 75 years old Victoria Sims. The Tallahassee Police Department announced that they have arrested these two people and they are still carrying out their investigation.
We will continue to speak until justice is served. The Chairman CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, felicitates with Professor Benedict Orama on his reappointment as the President of the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexima Bank, for his second term in office. Your enormous contributions to the growth and development of the bank, as well as the huge success attained during your first tenure, is evident in this gesture of your reappointment, she said. And she also urged Professor Orama to woo more diaspora investors to invest in the continent, particularly Nigerian diasporans, and to continue on his quest to better prepare the continent for effectively competing in the global markets. Now let's celebrate some of our diaspora frontline heroes.
Nnenna Nkata is a 27-year-old Nigerian and MSc student in Geographical Information Management from Cranfield University, UK, who has etched a mark for herself in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic by developing an automated online dashboard that gives real-time census of Nigerians infected with the disease at local and state levels. She took the challenge when she observed most Nigerians were unaware of the spread of the coronavirus, thus creating an online dashboard for that purpose. According to her, my work in the humanitarian sector showed me that there is real lack of information and data about people, geography, and area mapping. The dashboard, being a timely creation, has generated a lot of interest from Nigerian organizations and other organizations who desire an equivalent design for Africa made by her. Nnenna Nkata is from Abia State in Nigeria. Professor Rotimi Ayodele, an alumnus of the University of Ibadan, UI, Professor Rotimi Ayodele Kayode Jayesimi finished medical school in 1978 and proceeded to the British Isles in 1985 to pursue professional development. He holds a master's degree in business administration and another in medical law, which is a rare field. Professor Jayesimi reputably played a pivotal role in mortality reduction at Balsidon University Hospital. He also transformed the institution from under special measure to being rated as a good hospital by the Care Quality Commission. He is a national trainer for mortality review, Care and Quality Commission advisor, adjunct professor at the Faculty of Law, UI, where he lectured postgraduate students on medical jurisprudence. Since 1989, he has been serving in the National Health Service (NHS) in the following capacities: General Medical Council, Fitness to Practice Committee, examiner for GMC/PLA exams for licensing doctors in the UK, accredited Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, Institute for Health Research, developed Electronic Mortality Review Tool (MARS), received Health Service Journal National Award for Innovative Development, Chairman Presidential Initiative on Medical Excellence and Diaspora Engagement, among 70 most outstanding healthcare professionals in the UK, contributed to national policies on diaspora matters, member Diaspora Healthcare Initiative, Lifetime Achievement Award UI, and many others. He has been away from Nigeria for about 33 years, but has kept faith with the homeland. He has been on many medical missions to Nigeria, including UCH Ibadan, Abeokuta, Abuja, and Shagamu. Professor Rotimi Jayesimi is proudly Nigerian.
And now, on to our feedback segment. We received an appreciation letter from our Nigerian evacuees from Guangzhou, China. It reads thus: We, the Nigerian evacuees from Guangzhou, China, like to use this opportunity to convey our sincere appreciation to the federal government of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, and indeed your good self, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, for the excellent role your office, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Consulate General of Nigeria, Guangzhou, played while we were stranded in Guangzhou, China, and successful evacuation exercise on 29th May 2020 back to our father's land, Nigeria. We shall forever remain grateful, ma.
Aha! Hello, how are you? All right, now I waiting for Diaspora and I get stuck with this money. Not be you wait the bariga or the mushi or makoko. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. Una see this link? Now for now waiting for Diaspora. Where see the doubt whether follow dey Nigeria? Hello, don't think about it. This link, it go carry you direct, go the place where we say it go help you choose which investment you want to do for Nigeria. Any investment, whether na waiting, whether na bank shares, whether na agriculture, whether na real estate, whether na stock exchange, any investment wey you want to do, make sure say you click am because anything fit happen for Diaspora anytime and it go better say if you come Nigeria, you go get where you go relax and you get investment to fall back to. Hello, make sure say you click am because you wan say what? Wait that. Hey, Oga. See, make I help you click the link. Make you click wetin. When we say na Ambiolo primary school you go. You know here when I talk say na for people wey dey for Diaspora. People wey dey for Diaspora, what are they called? I know they are called diasporans. Oh, there. Let me talk to my diasporans people. Make sure say you click this link. Oh yeah, to betterment your life. Because you won't say what the investment in your country in Nigeria is a forever life betterment. Thank you. You see the here. If you like say you don't get job for filling station, you see the here. Go.
Thank you for staying all through the program. It's been worthwhile. And in case you have anything to share with us, please do not hesitate to do so as we expect feedback on our show. Remember, you can reach us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, on Twitter at nidcom_gov, on our Instagram page at nidcom_gov, and on our website at www.nidcom.gov.ng. You can also join us on DSTV at NTA Network on Friday at 10:30 a.m., on NTA International on Tuesday at 6 a.m. and 10:05 p.m., on NTA News 24 on Friday at 2:30 p.m., and on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. You can also join us on WAP TV on Monday at 10 p.m. I remain your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. See you next time.